Sydney, what a terrific baseball town, and what a great announcement about a sport that bonds Australians and Americans. I can't think of anything better than this combination, getting to watch American baseball with Australian beer. Now, the bond between the U.S. and Australia that was formed through baseball began before the U.S. and Australia ever served together, before we ever triumphed together, before we had an alliance together. What we did was we played baseball together. 130 years ago, a player named Joe Quinn debuted for St. Louis. He was the first Australian to ever play in the major leagues in the United States. And next year, as the Premier mentioned, will be the 100th anniversary of when the Chicago White Sox played the New York Giants here at the Sydney Cricket Grounds. And just so you know, my friend President Obama is going to be very happy to learn that the White Sox won 10-5. So I can't think of any better way to commemorate that event and this bond between our two great nations than to have two new great baseball teams, Los Angeles Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks, come here and play their season opener here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. They are both absolutely terrific teams, and I know that throughout the season they're going to be battling very, very hard to be the second best team to my San Francisco Giants. So, baseball connects us in lots of ways. I was just back from Oakland where I saw Grant Balfour, who is the great Australian pitcher for the Oakland A's. He just set the record for the A's for the most consecutive saves by a player in one season. He is also just one of many Australian stars. You got Rich Thompson, you got Josh Spence, you got Luke Hughes, all out there demonstrating that baseball is truly an international sport. In fact, major leagues currently have players from over a dozen different countries in their starting lineups. But baseball, as the Premier mentioned, is also terrific for trade and for business, particularly here in New South Wales. During that same trip back to Oakland, I visited with the New South Wales Trade and Investment Office, which was just established in Silicon Valley. And we're working together in that office to expand trade across every dimension between the United States and Australia, and particularly New South Wales. But baseball is one particularly great way to do it. All you have to do is go to the U.S. and visit our new ballparks in Baltimore, in Washington, D.C., in San Francisco, to see the impact that baseball has on the economy of a city. It has revitalized those neighborhoods. It's built new restaurants and hotels. And this exclusive Sydney engagement between the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers is going to bring baseball fans not only from all over Australia, but really throughout the region will be coming out here to New South Wales. It's going to increase tourism. It's going to increase money, and I think Barry may be lowballing it when he says $13 million. I expect there'll be even more than that. But what I love about baseball isn't just the money. It's not just about the trade and these practical things like revenues. It's a sport that reflects some of the truly deep values that bond our two nations together. Baseball is a sport that's about giving it a go. It's a sport where you can't score, you can't win unless you want to step up to the plate by yourself and take a swing. It's a sport about perseverance, because even the very best baseball players of all time get out 7 out of 10 times that they come up to the plate. It's a sport about teamwork. No one player, no matter how great they are, can do it alone. It's about 9 players over a sustained period of time playing together, hitting and fielding together. And it's a sport about hope. It's a sport that says that no matter how many runs you're behind, as long as you've still got an at-bat, you can come back and you can win. And most of all, it's a sport that favors families. You play it in a park, and every player, when they get up to the plate, knows that ultimately their goal is to get home safe.